Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to WatchYouWant.com. Thanks for logging on. If you're among the Paneristi, you already know the legend, but if you're not, here's a quick primer. Sylvester Stallone, while filming the movie Daylight in the mid-90s, on set, in Rome, discovered a number of the first-run Panerai Luminor watches in a jeweler's shop in Rome. Now, at the time, Panerai had only been on the market for about 2.5 years, and the company was basically floundering. The watches weren't selling, the watches weren't visible. In Italy, people just looked at them as the equivalent of military surplus, not prestigious pieces, and abroad, no one had even heard of them. But Stallone was a bit of an auteur even then, and he kind of went his own way, did his own thing, had his own style. He saw the watch, it was big, it was aggressive, it was bold, it was ex-military, he liked it, and he bought one, and then he bought more. He actually wound up ordering a couple of hundred, making him one of the first substantial customers of Panerai on the civilian scene, and it was largely the result of those volume orders and the visibility that resulted when Stallone started giving them as gifts to his high-profile friends, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, and the like, that Officine Panerai really caught on in the public eye, captured part of the public mind share, and that was the hook that ultimately led to the company's rise to prominence, such that Richemont decided to buy it in 1997 and infuse it with big-time luxury dollars. The rest, as they say, is history, and so is this Panerai 5218-207/Alpha. This is one of the original Slytech Luminors, custom caseback, custom dial, ordered by Sly Stallone back in the day, specifically for his closest friends. Oxidized hands, white dial, full Arabics, very rare, very distinctive, very cool. This is what Paneristi call a grail watch. It's what's known as a pre-Vendôme Luminor, and it's about as authentic gets. Now, the very first Panerai civilian models, like the military forebears, had been built by Rolex or Swiss watchmakers for Panerai in Italy. But for the second flight of watches that were produced, including those orders from Stallone, Italian suppliers, mostly within Florence itself, actually built the vast majority of the parts of the case. So although the movement is Swiss, this is a true Italian-made Panerai. You'll note at 6 o'clock there is no advertisement of Swiss-made. Now that's the kind of thing you generally put there if you can, because it's prestigious. They were struggling for traction at the time, so if they could have, they would have. But to the Paneristi, to those who collect vintage and collectible Panerais, that is beyond awesome. An Italian-made Panerai is the closest thing you can get to a purebred in the pre-manufacture era. Short of a vintage military diver with a combat history, this is as close as you can get to an honest-to-God Panerai legend. And with the Slytech dial, everyone instantly knows the backstory. Those who are in, those who know the secret handshake, they're going to give you the nod and the wink. Those who don't know, you're going to treat them to the ultimate conversation starter of a story. This is a great watch for meeting people. This is a great watch for impressing the right kind of folks. Those who haunt the forums online late at night. Those who are into this, not just as a fad, but as a lifestyle. If you're into Panerai, if you're deeply into Panerai, and you already own a couple of Luminor and Radiomir references, now's the time to make the step up to a true collectible, to a true investment-grade piece. This is the next step for those who already have the Panerai bug and are wondering where to take their hobby, because the passion of those early Panerai years on Paneristi.com, on the internet forums, the excitement of something that our founder and CEO O.J. Watley describes as just a phenomenon exploding, a tidal wave, an oncoming storm, all of that is encapsulated in this Panerai Slytech Daylight 5218-207, a pre-Vendôme, a Luminor with the device protecting the crown, with the cushion case, with the big bold dial. This is as authentic as it gets and as cool as it gets to the dyed-in-the-wool Panerai Paneristi. So, if you're interested in taking that next step, if you're a Panerai collector looking for the real deal, this is it. Sly Stallone, Panerai Luminor, pre-Vendôme, 5218-207, pre-Vendôme. Available from WatchYouWant.com with the equipment you would have received from the authorized dealer had you been there in Rome in 1995. You get a factory service certificate. You get the original Panerai wooden display box with microfiber wrap cloth. you get a jeweler's tool, because even at that early date, you were able to swap out the straps, do-it-yourself style. The bug started here, folks. This is the beginning of the legend. This is the genesis of the modern phenomenon that is Panerai. Available from watchyouwant.com. Check out our website at watchyouwant.com and browse this and other historic Panerai editions. You just may find the watch you want.